Chuck, as our resident number 9, I'm going to come back to you on this. Has an American ever had a bigger impact at a top 5 club in Europe than Christian is having on AC Milan right now? And really, I guess in addition to that, is he in the best form of his career?
On a top 5 club in Europe or just in the top 5 leagues?
Top 5 league, sorry.
Okay. You could argue Tim Howard had a incredible run at Everton and was, had a large part of their success given some of the saves he made.
Chuck, we leave the goalkeeper stuff for Tony. So you find a field player.
But in terms of field players, no. We're talking AC Milan. not this type of impact where you're the right now, you could say he's the best player in AC Milan. One of the best, if not the best attacking player. And Rafael had a price tag of 100 million. He's playing better than Rafael. So at the moment for me, we have not had a player play at a club like that with the expectations to come every single game and give you something, whether that's a goal or assist or, creating a number of chances, being super dangerous. He did it at Chelsea, albeit not as consistent as we would have liked, and of course what he would have liked, but he had shown glimpses, especially that closed door pulley. Like, everyone always says, hey, closed door pulley, that's a whole nother thing. The streets will never forget Pulisic behind closed doors with Chelsea. And then we had seen him do it as a youngster with Dortmund, but now consistency at this level in Serie A, he did it for a full season, and now he's even better than where he was last year. No, I can honestly say no, not like this.
Trying to think who you'd even throw into that conversation. Clint Dempsey.
I mean, Clint Dempsey, but
right?
That's not
Brian McBride at Fulham.
Yeah, but not.
I don't know if they're
not like
goal
this.
Contributions. Yeah,
no. I mean, McBride had what, 10 goals? Premier League goals in a season.
Yeah,
like
but I'm just thinking, who else is even in the conversation right now? I mean, there's. I'm trying to think. Maybe I'm missing someone off the top of my head, but.
Claudio had a few good seasons, and
it was the year at Man City when they were playing in Champions League. They played Rangers in Champions League that year. Like that year, he was really good at Man City, but I think Man City was obviously a different club than they are now. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Claudio, but I don't want people to think that it's Man City at the top of the table.
Jermaine, technically, I guess Jermaine, because he played in Champions League, he was playing in the Bundesliga. But I'm telling you right now,
Thomas Dooley, when he was, you're going back, but Thomas Dooley, when he won Player of the Year at Kaiserslautern, when they were second or third in the Bundesliga at that time.
Yeah.
You're going back, but the answer is that we haven't seen a lot of it, right? Like we haven't. Christian Pulisic. The only thing I'll argue with you, Charlie, is you said Christian, one of the best players in Milan. He's the best player.
Yeah.
At Milan right now. He's the best player they have right now. He's the most consistent player that they have right now. And I'm going from goalkeeper all the way to the forward line. And he's done so well for that club over a year and 5 or 6 games, whatever it is now total. And it's a testament to being in the right place in your career at the right time. And that's why all of these moves are really, really important. That's why all of these moves, you look at these numbers here, they speak for themselves. That's why being in the right place, being settled, having a manager that believes in you and trusts you is so important. So important.
Yeah, the most goals in Serie A. Those are the numbers that Big Tones is referencing. The most goals in Serie A since March 1st. Christian Pulisic has 8, Marcus Thuram has 7, and Albert Gudmundsson has 7 for Fiorentina. So I think what's interesting is that we referenced that COVID year where there were no fans for Christian. And I think there was maybe a 9 or 10 game stretch. He had 5 goals and 2 assists in that run. And he was putting everybody on notice that when he's healthy and gets minutes, he can play. And I think there was a comment there from somebody in the Matt Christopher maybe said, this is Christian realizing his potential, which I like that definition, right? Sometimes you don't ever see players hit their ceiling or get close to hitting their ceiling or push their ceiling even higher as to what he's capable of. And I think when we've seen those glimpses, but I think what's been special about this particular run for him at Milan is that we're seeing that consistency, that he can be that guy game in and game out. We're also seeing it with the U.S. as well. Something had switched And I wonder what it is. And I don't know if he can really verbalize it yet, but maybe in a couple of years, he'll be able to say, yes, these are the 3 things that I was doing both either on and off the field that really allowed me to take on more responsibility.
Oh, I can give you that, Jimmy. It's
Okay, give it
just
to me.
the trust in the coach. If you know, okay, I can make mistakes. I can play with freedom. But for me to be at my best, I have to know that I can be daring and try things, and I'm not going to be benched. I'm not going to be the first one pulled out of the starting 11. And if results don't go our way, or, if you have to have one scapegoat, I'm not the one. He's playing just how he was as a kid. I'm going out there to have fun. I'm going in there to do my best and be cutthroat. There are times where he's unselfish, and there's times where he's selfish, and he says, so what? Look what I'm doing. You need that type of attitude to hit your max potential.
We're talking to you, Thomas Tuchel.
I don't give a damn.
Thomas Tuchel.
Right? Yeah, Thomas Tuchel. I don't give a damn. I'm going to do my thing. And you could see even he would have more goals if Rafael wasn't as selfish. And let's not also forget, Tony, right? The amount of work he's putting in on the defensive side of the ball.
No doubt.
This man is busting his ass to get back, to track back, to defend, to win tackles, to just be involved defensively to help out Milan. I think that is so impressive because, yes, he is doing it on the attacking third and he is creating for others as himself, but he's also showing the guys, hey, I want you to know that I'm earning my respect. And so I think that's what's really, really incredible.
Yeah, and I had the chance. It's interesting. I did that interview with him at the beginning of the year, and I talked to him about the injuries over the years, and he said, you know what? It's been so much easier to stay fit playing consistently because my body knows how to react where you're not going up and down and up and down. You get a week where you don't play, you get a week and a half where you don't play, and then all of a sudden you got to stretch yourself and you get hurt. And he just said it's been, and I'm knocking on wood here, because that's been so important for him because over the course of his career, it's been stop and go. And after that COVID year, if you remember when he came back, the portion you're talking about, they were talking about him as being the best winger in the Premier League at that time. And I remember we were covering every one of those games because we were really the only ones working on the radio at that point, covering anything during COVID. And it was amazing to watch him and what he does. But yeah, it's been fun to watch. It gets you excited, right? When you know that he has this potential, and he seems to have a little bit of an edge right now. And I told you that interview, we were here, that interview after the Canada game, it almost, I feel like it sparked him in some ways, right? Like losing and going, you know what, I'm done with this. I got to put this thing on my shoulders. I got to be a team player, and we all do. Everybody does. But at some point, you got to do a little bit more. And if you're going to ask your teammates to do a little bit more, you got to do it yourself. And I think that's probably the mode he's in right now.
So would we say, especially given the numbers, right? More goal scoring contributions than anybody else since the beginning of Serie A, a season and a half ago or season plus 2 months ago. More goals in Serie A, the stat we just threw up since March. Is he a top 100 player for you, Chuck, in the world? I mean, I know that there was a thing that was out recently, and he was the only American on it, but he was I think he was in the 90-ish area, or some people didn't even have him in the top 100.
See,
but
for
it's hard. It's hard not to say.
Yeah, but to say top 100, those type of suggestions are kind of crazy because you have to also include goalkeepers, and how do you rate goalkeepers in with center backs and outside backs? Those goalkeepers are kind of strange, but no, I think that the discussion should be: is he top 25 in his position in the world?
Okay.
Is he world class? Is he considered world class? Does he have the potential to be world class? I don't think he's world class yet, but does he have the potential to be world class? I do. I held to the I think he does. I mean, we've seen some of those performances where he takes over a game, where he wins the game for his club at the highest level. He's not there yet, but I certainly think he can get there. If he's talking about consistency, staying healthy, and then just continuing to grow and be the guy where, hey, guess what? Leao doesn't have a choice but to play this ball to Christian Pulisic. He has to play it to him because he's either going to get reamed out by the coach or his teammates because Christian is the guy. And I do think he is trending in the right direction to finally everyone said, hey, he's an American that everyone knows in the world, in world football. Everyone knows who Christian Pulisic is now. And it's not just because he's the marketing guy in the face of the U.S. Men's national team. No, it's because the guy's producing in Europe for one of the biggest clubs in the world. That, to me, is a massive win. That's a huge win. Everyone knows. Whether you call him Pulisic or Pulisic, either way, everybody knows who the hell he is. And, you know, you talk to guys like Olivier Giroud, who's played with the best players in the world. And Olivier says, this guy has all the class. He can be the difference maker. And it's just about getting him time and getting his confidence up and staying healthy. And he can take a game over. So at the highest level. So I'm excited to see him continue to take steps forward.
All right. So insight from your peers, always respect. So Olivier Giroud, we appreciate those sentiments about Christian. Now let's pivot this just a little bit. Big Tones, do you think that Christian has overtaken Alphonso Davies as the best player in CONCACAF?
I mean, how do you?
I know,
Tony.
Yeah.
Don't be shy, Tony.
I don't know. I think Alphonso Davies has been doing it longer at a higher level
right? We're talking
than
consistency.
Yeah. So if we're going to talk consistency, the answer is no. You know, I mean, Alphonso Davies wanted by Real Madrid and wanted by other teams around the world. So I'm going to say no because Alphonso Davies has been doing it longer than Christian Pulisic.